All right, I am here with head coach Pat Hallmark. We are getting ready to start our 2025 season, heading to Arlington, Texas to take on UT Arlington. Sean, if you want, or Coach, if you want to start with a opening statement and just kind of a preview the weekend and the season ahead.
We're excited. Yeah, we were just chatting in here. We ready to play somebody else. About inter-squatted out and looking forward to getting up to Arlington and seeing how the weekend goes.
Sean, you want to start us off?
Sure. Coach, you mentioned last week that, it may take some time to realize whether your team's conference prediction was about right or should be higher. What have you seen from your team so far that makes you think that a conference championship is a real possibility for them?
Well, we're more athletic than I think we've ever been since I've been here. We've got some Norris McClure comes to mind, and Ty Hodge, two guys that could be on the left side of the infield that are just athletically speaking, they're strong. They're power forward type athletes, so it's exciting. Other guys too, but yeah, we're just more athletic, which it's potential or expectation. So it doesn't guarantee you anything. It doesn't mean they're going to perform. It's still the game of baseball, which it's not the high jump or something like that. So we'll see what happens. But from a coach, it's nice to have talent and guys with a high ceiling.
Jerry?
Yeah, good morning, Coach.
Morning, Jerry.
I'm going to ask if you could try to ask you for some comparisons, this year's talent versus last year's, and get you to break it down. What do you think you have this year in terms of like the pitching, the defense, and the hitting? If you could compare in each of those categories last year to this year.
I think pitching. I think we were more experienced last year and deeper. We had more pitchers. So this year, few injuries, but the top of the top of the pitching staff is healthy, which is nice. So we had more experience and we were deeper last year on the mound. From a pure talent side, maybe about even, maybe a little more talent last year, but it kind of that can flip when you get to the position players. From a hitting side, we definitely have more talent. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of athletic guys, a lot more than normal, and we're deeper. So it kind of flips from the position player side. We could handle an injury. I hope nobody gets hurt, but we could survive an injury or two in the position player side of things. Not a lot of experience on the position player side, but we didn't have a ton of experience last year either, which as a mid-major in the transfer portal, and when you have good years, you're going to lose people. So that might be the norm moving forward. I don't know for sure, but we didn't have a ton of experience last year. Still don't this year, but the talent is there. The talent is there to hit, and I think we will. I don't know if we'll do it immediately, but I think we'll hit. We'll run the bases well. We didn't have a ton of speed last year. We have more speed this year. So those things are exciting. From the defensive side, that's probably we're talking about the same group of guys, right? The position players. We need to improve defensively. We're not altogether pleased as a coaching staff with where we're at defensively. I do think the players are bought in and motivated to improve. I just think, like a lot of young athletes, they prefer to hit. Hitting's more fun than standing around and playing defense. So they're working hard at it, and it's a work in progress. But I do think as the season goes on, we will improve defensively.
Jerry, you got any more?
Well, yeah, I wanted to ask about Arlington, if I could. You saw them this time last year, Coach. They came in, and I guess they won. They won a couple down here last year. How are they compared to what we saw here last year at Roadrunner Field? How are they looking this season?
I suspect they're going to be similar. I don't know that. Obviously, we've already been scouting them. They do have their top two arms are back. right-handed pitcher named Digert, a really good pitcher. Beat us last year, I think 2-1. And then they got a lefty, Caden Noah, who's got a big curveball. University of Texas kicked back for them. But they were both here last year. So their top two arms are back. They did lose a lot of their offense, but their offense was the weaker part of their team last year. I think they only have two hitters back. Whether that's by design or not, I'm not sure. So we're trying to gather as much information we can on their offense. A lot of JUCO guys. I think they'll have 4 or 5 JUCO guys in their lineup. And we started watching them. So harder to really know what you're up against there from the JUCO side. But those top 2 pitchers will be challenges for us. But we'll be ready. They'll be good. They're competitive kids, and they throw strikes. That's the one thing their coaching staff preaches is throwing strikes. So it'll be hopefully we will do the same. But they do throw a ton of strikes.
Sean, Jerry, you good?
I got a couple more. Coach Connor Miles was a guy who had the opportunity to go and play with Baseball Australia this past offseason. Have you seen that opportunity really pay off for him in terms of his performance and even his confidence?
Well, he's ready. Whether it was Baseball Australia, I think that tournament was in China, which is that was a great opportunity for Connor just from a cultural life lesson standpoint. Super happy he got to do that. And to his credit, he missed some school for that. He made it all up and did great in the classroom. We're proud of him for all that. But whether it was that experience or just a year of Division I baseball under his belt, Connor looks like a different pitcher this year. I think it's fair to say he didn't have the kind of year last year that he wanted to have. He just didn't throw enough strikes. I think he was a little surprised that the hitters at this level are as good as they are. And he got hit a little bit, and it shocked him, I think, initially. And then he didn't get enough pitches in the strike zone after that, which happens with a lot of new players. It's a new level, and sometimes you get a little bit surprised by the talent that you're up against. But Connor's ready to go. He looks fantastic. So again, whether it was the time with Team Australia or just a year of experience, he could be starting for us. If he's not starting, he'll probably pitch multiple times a weekend. That's how good he's been.
Everybody's aware of Mason Lytle's accomplishments and statistics and accolades, but what does he bring to your team from a leadership standpoint? Obviously a guy who wants to be here, and having somebody with that attitude kind of as one of your leaders.
It's wonderful. He's a quiet leader. Kind of how we like it around here. Not a lot of hoopla, not a lot of bloviating. He just shows up and goes to work. So he leads by example for the younger guys and the new guys. As a coaching staff, we love that. We love to just be able to point and say, hey, act like that guy, right? Just show up and play hard. When you don't play good, don't hang your head. Just keep playing, basically. And when you play good, don't get too silly and unserious. And that's Mason Lytle. You won't know Mason has 3 hits or no hits by the way he carries himself. He just carries himself like a professional, really. He just goes about it as a business. And he has fun doing it. I don't want to take that away from him or anybody. We tend to be pretty hard-nosed and serious around here, but you can be that way and have fun, and that's Mason.
Jerry, any more?
Coach, I want to ask about Ty Hodge. You mentioned last week he was maybe a little bit banged up. Just ask to see if you think he's healthy enough to start on Friday, and also if you know or if you figured out yet who your starting pitcher will be on Friday.
We think Ty Hodge is headed in that direction, Jerry. So I can't. At the end of the day, it's not my decision. But our training staff has done a great job with him. Tyler and Marie and Rhodey, they've been working hard. Ty's been working hard, but he is running now. So I think even the last time I talked to you last week, he wasn't running the bases yet. He was doing some running in his rehab, but he was still not running the bases. And he ran the bases this weekend. So all signs point to him playing. We'll know for sure by the end of the week, but that's where he's headed. Yeah. And then the weekend rotation, we haven't said it yet. I think you'll see, I don't know which day or maybe whether it's starter or stopper, but you'll see those three guys that you and I have talked about before with
Right.
Orlowski and Owens and Royce will be heavily in the mix somewhere. Miles, like we mentioned, Miles again. I don't know if we don't have a ton of lefties, so we kind of maybe need Miles in the bullpen, but Miles is throwing good enough to deserve to start. But those are four guys you'll definitely see. Yeah.
Anyone else? All right.
That's about it for me.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.